all the electronic devices and materials that were used during the August 9th presidential election. And the Azimio team, and actually in total all the 9 petitioners have said that Iebc has to explain to the country how they arrived at the figures that they gave when Wafula Chebukati announced President-elect, that is William Ruto, as the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya, just awaiting the next action in terms of his swearing in, should the court uphold the announcement by Wafula Chebukati. Tricks, the Iebc team was supposed to be here by noon, but then it's 1 p.m. as you can see, and so we've been told that at exactly 2 p.m. the team will be here to present all the documents that are required, the documents they used during the August 9th elections. But then Tricks, they were supposed to do this 2 days after the petitioners filed a petition at the sub-registry of the Supreme Court here at the Milimani Law Court. So after 2 days, with the 2 days, 48 hours is today. So they're expected to file that, and then come Saturday, we expect all the respondents who've been mentioned in this case by the petitioners to file the responses by Saturday, so that on Monday there will be a pre-trial conference that will be held at the Supreme Court. And this pre-trial conference will entail so many details. One will be the time allocated for all the parties involved in this case, the time that they'll be given to argue out their case, and also if the cases are going to be consolidated into one. And also the judges will be looking at should there be any person any Kenyan citizen or a lawyer was applied to be enjoined in this case as an interested party. And so those are just some of the things that will be looked at come on Monday. Well, there will be a pre-trial conference that will be held before the case begins on Tuesday, because the Supreme Court judges have 2 weeks to hear this case and make a ruling as to whether they will invalidate or validate the announcement of Wafula Chebukati as the chair, the chairperson, of Iebc, Wafula Chebukati, who announced that the Deputy President William Ruto is the president-elect, together with his running mate Rigathi Gachagua. But then Tricks, a lot of holes have been poked into the announcement that was made by Wafula Chebukati. We have the Azimio team saying that some of the votes for the presidential candidate were deducted in favor of the Deputy President William Ruto, who is the president-elect. They're also saying that in some cases the president-elect was given more votes than he ought to have had. And then they're also saying that the portal of the Iebc was hacked by people that they will prove to court, the people who did it. But then also Tricks, we're just waiting to see if the Iebc team will avail all the Form 34As from 46,229 polling stations, the Form 34B from 290 constituencies, and also Form 34C. We also expect the KIMS kits also to be submitted here. Those are some of the electronic devices that the Iebc team used during the presidential election. So we will be confirming whether Iebc will have submitted all this required electronic materials that were used during that elections. And Tricks, as I hand it over to you, just remind you that the lead lawyers of the Iebc team is led by Githo Muigai, Eric Gumbo, and Wambua Kilonzi. Those are some of the lead legal team that will be representing the Iebc at the Supreme Court when the case will kick off from Monday during the pre-trial conference, and officially the hearing beginning on Tuesday. Back to you, Tricks, in studio.
Thank you very much, Brenda. Of course, that is expected to happen any time from now, given the deadline is at 2 p.m.